It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Did you know that Medicare pharmacies are your one-stop health and wellness destination? If you don't know that by now, you should. At Medicare, professional and friendly staff are on hand to attend to your healthcare needs. And Knapp, CEO of Medicare, has stopped by studio to tell us a little bit more about their holistic offering of products and services that are always available at their pharmacies. Why do you think, as someone who's very much motivating where you're going in the market, why do you think people love Medicare? Why are they keeping coming back to you?
I think there's probably three things that stands out to us. I'd say care, convenience, and value. Right?
Yeah.
And I think the care you've hit on, I mean, that's exactly the feeling we're trying to build, right? One of, I think, real, attentive, personalized care coming from a suite of very professional people. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to find that these days. And the convenience we've talked a lot about over the last 13 weeks, right? Trying to build the one-stop shop. Everything from your front shop goods to the doctor, to the nurse, to the pharmacist, the lab tests, the medicines, all under one roof. And I think value, I mean, increasingly we are, trying to get to a very competitive price point, whether it's a heavily discounted doctor compared to a physical GP. Our front shop ranges, we're building lots of things, trying to make sure that people are getting good value in their healthcare, right? And
of course, it would all fall short if you didn't have amazing people working for you, which you've proven you do. When you say you're reinventing pharmacy, I mean, you have a much wider scope. You're reinventing doctors, to be honest.
Exactly.
What does that mean to you in your operational model, in the way that you have applied this in your many stores? How are you reinventing the pharmacy?
I think we're trying to make healthcare easier for people, right? And I think we've started with doctor. I think that's the the easiest place to start, trying to create that one-stop shop. But I mean, just having a doctor by itself in a pharmacy isn't enough, right? And so now you're trying to figure out what comes on top of that. And I think some of the things we'll be doing this year, we haven't got a great brand for it yet. We call them bundles, right? So actually starting to say, how can you work through in a specific therapeutic area, something like family planning, right? Right now, you'd go see a doctor and pay a fee. You'd go to a pharmacy and pay a fee. Sure. And all this stuff adds up. So how do you actually take that package of stuff and bring it in at a much, much lower cost, right? So it saves you time and saves you money. And we want to be introducing a bunch of those things next year. So that's sort of the next step in reinvention that we want to be taking.
That's one of the new things on the horizon. What else is 20? We are this close to 2020.
We are this close to 2020. It's pretty scary.
We're talking about it. Not to, you can do with this year first. You can get done with that before you move on to 2020. But a new year, lots of exciting possibilities. What's the biggest things
I think,
on the horizon?
Probably 3 or 4 things that are also going to be quite exciting. I think one, we expect to get reimbursement by medical aid for video med next year.
Oh, wow.
So I think that'll be, certainly maybe not all the medical aids, but certainly a lot of the medical aids. So that's going to make a big difference for people not having to pay out of their pocket, right? Sure. So I think that's a huge thing. Second thing, the front shop, like I talked about, we're going to do a lot of work on our front shop. So you can expect to see a lot of new product, new pricing, different look and feel.
That's all I'm after.
Well, that we've got and we'll have for you without a problem. And then the third thing is those bundles that I talked about, right? So we'll be doing quite a lot to be trying to bring some products into the market that actually help you save more money, right? In the way that you think about healthcare. And those are probably 3 pretty big and critical things that we want to be focusing on for next year.
Well, thanks for thinking of the customer, and thanks for hiring amazing people as well, because I've really loved getting to know your team on every level. Even the marketing guys working with your amazing pharmacists, everyone has been really such a pleasure to.
I'm blessed to have a wonderful group of people.
I'm sure they feel the same about you.
I hope so.
I'm sure they feel the same about you. But you're doing some pretty remarkable things in a space that needs a little bit of stimulation. And I think ultimately we want to see that there is a conscience around the way that we are being looked after and the way that we are being treated. And there are ways that you can get the full service. You can look after your whole family, including the little one. You can look after yourself, and you can get what you need in one place. So whether you have been feeling a little bit ill and need a prescription or just something to remedy maybe an ailment, Medicare is the place to go, with everything under one roof, from a pharmacist to even your nurse, your sister, a video med doctor. You've got to try it out if you can. There is always a friendly place to talk to and advice to get from someone who really does know what they're talking about. And I think most importantly, cares about you and wants you to be able to live the healthiest and most balanced and happy life that you can. Tim, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Medicare, reinventing pharmacy for you.